Shalom. We are the real Hebrew Israelites, and we come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, America, which is called the daughter of Babylon in the Bible, and to teach the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that you are the Lord's chosen people, the lost 12 tribes of Israel on your sign. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, double honor to the elders and apostles for bringing up on him, for teaching us the truth of the Bible, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Today wanted to go into because a brother asked a question about what is the lion resemble, or what does it represent? And the lion represents the Lion of Judah, because when you go to Genesis 49:9. It speaks of all the tribes and how they came out, and when Isaac's was it Isaac who's
Jacob.
Oh, Jacob, yeah. Jacob, he was speaking to all the sons, and when he got to Judah. He spoke about Judah and
this is what he said. This is Genesis 49:9. Judah is the lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
So it says Judah talking to his son. And it says that he's like a lion's whelp, which means like a young lion. And it said he's like a young lion that goes up for the prey.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
From the prey thou hast gone up. And that kind of represents, the tribe of Judah are the so-called Negroes. And you notice that tribe, that race, it's a more dominant race, because they're dominant in everything here on the planet. Like if you think about it, they're dominant in boxing, football, science, singing,
military,
even acting.
Denzel was a pretty badass actor.
Yeah. So that's kind of represents, they're like a young lion who eats their prey, So like if you put all these races, all the nationalities, in a jungle, the one that's going to come out is the tribe of Judah, the Negroes, because they're more dominant.
Let me get this. This is Genesis 49:8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
So that's what represents too, that he's that more dominant, because it said that we're going to have our enemies in our hands.
Yeah, Judah is the one that shows the most mercy, because when they were going to kill Joseph, Simeon and Levi. They were going to kill Joseph, remember? And then Judah said, well, I don't want them to kill my brother. So he put him in slavery, he sold him to the Ishmaelites. But that was spiritual, because Jacob went to be a vizier of the Pharaoh. So he went from slave prisoner to damn near Pharaoh. So there shouldn't be any envy, because Judah's always blessing us.
So even though Judah, is at the bottom in the world right now, they're still dominant.
Yeah, because if you see a white baby, 3 weeks old, they're not even looking, they're not even opening their eyes, they're not even moving their head. A baby from the tribe of Judah, or even my babies, they were like looking around and fucking.
Yeah, you notice they're more smart.
Yeah, more stronger.
They're more adaptive to life.
But Judah will have his head up like this, looking around and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, she's only 19 days old. That's amazing too.
And they're still, they're still all red, They still look all red when they're babies. You want to eat that one?
Right? Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is a lion. Oh, that's why. Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
So like there it said, he stooped down and crouched as a lion. And then it said, even as an old lion. And when you look up, like the characteristics of a lion, I came across, because it says a lioness, right? And that's a female lion, but it says most of them resemble cats, lionesses, or lions. So a lioness kind of resembles a lion too,
There's cat-like reflexes, if you ever heard of that. Like if you ever watch Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali or those great boxers, they have the reflexes. Even Canelo, he has that reflex, he just steps out of the punches.
Yeah, like a cat, And if a cat, you throw him, he's always going to land on his feet.
And then the Black Panther's resemblance to the lion. The movie is all about Judah.
That's why they named it Black Panther.
You should have named it Lion King or something. Or in the movie Lion King. And then our Lord is from the tribe of Judah.
Yep.
We're probably going to find that out
We'll get
later.
into that too, But right now I'm going into who the tribe of Judah are, the so-called Negroes,
Oh, yeah, and they're the real Jews.
and how they act.
They're the real Jews.
So going back to the definition of a lion, it says, others are not obviously derived from any specific animal. A lion and her near adult cubs resting and ready to hunt when night fell. So that's what it represents. Like it said, the lion crouched down, and then he said, who's going to rouse him up? Just like the lion, it protects her cubs, and then when night falls, it's ready to go hunt. Just like Yahushua right now, he's ready to hunt, but right now he's crouching down and waiting for the prey.
This is Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. And none of that would have been able to happen if we didn't, if Al Bivens didn't wake up first. And that's when he's from the tribe of Judah.
That's why it said, your brothers will praise you, because he's the one that woke all the brothers up.
And why do we give double honors to the apostles? Because they're also from the tribe of Judah. See, this is basically the same tribe. Because that's the northern kingdom, and the head is Judah.
That's Jews, because Judah really is a name for Jews. Jews is short for Judah.
Yes, sir.
Right? So more of that definition, it says, the lioness is a fierce yet tender model. The lioness rises from her slumber, a magnificent image of strength, passion, and beauty. So that's what it does. It rises from the slumber because it like goes into hibernation, and then when it's ready, it just comes out and attacks.
And that's why I read Isaiah 40 and 31, because we're going to rise up from the slumber. And also the earlier definition with her young cubs, young, almost adult cubs, ready to hunt at night. So we're going to become hunters, and we're going to raise up.
Right, man. It's a scary thing. I seen somebody put a video. He was in the wilderness, and he was just hiking, and then like a young cub came up, and he got real close to him, and wanted to attack him. If that cub would have attacked him, that would have been it for him. But somehow that cub went away.
Yeah. Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is the lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? If I could just say this, just look at Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. They're considered old lions.
Yeah.
But look, they're gonna box, and they got in shape.
Yeah. That's two legends going at it.
Yes, sir.
So it said, so that chapter or that verse said that he's like a lion. So notice that whenever he talks about all the 12 tribes, he names them like animals, Just like the tribe of Issachar, he named them as a donkey, Because I got a picture right here of all the 12 symbols of the tribes.
Yeah. Like the priest.
Yeah.
And if I could just say this, it says Judah is the lion's whelp. And you should be thinking, why is Jacob saying that his son Judah is like a lion's whelp? Well, when you hear a lion's whelp from far away, you get scared, right? So when these Edomites see Judah walking down the street, he's muzzled, they get scared.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta call the cops.
Yeah.
Even when they see us, the other tribes. Oh man, something's up with these guys.
They get scared.
So a lion's whelp is pretty powerful because it doesn't. That's just a whelp. It's just the voice of it. So the voice scares you too. And also spiritually, when you see the brothers out here prophesying, this is the lion's whelp. Because why the word comes from Yahushua, and he's the lion. So that's his whelp. That's his cry.
So then we go to Luke 19 and 21, because it said, who shall rouse him up? So if you're going to rouse someone up, that means that they're mean,
Luke 19 and 21. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up, thou layest not down, and reapest, thou. Let me start over. That's a hard one. St. Luke 19 and 21. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up, thou layest not down, and reapest that thou did not sow.
So it said he feared Yahushua because he was an austere man. So I'm going to get the definition for austere. Strong 840. And it says, of mind and manners, harsh, rough, and rigid. That's an austere man. So that's why we fear Yahushua.
That's why the scripture always says that the Lord is not a respecter of persons. He doesn't care how far you're driving into the church and learn a lesson. He doesn't care that you're driving this far or that far, or you work at this place and then you have to come back. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And the Lord is an austere man. What do you think he's going to do? That's the message, the whole message, right? It says this is only for the Israelites, and then you gotta go to the street corners, and then we have to prophesy, and then we have to do lessons. We have to show our daily exhortation. But if you're not doing that, you know, how are you going to be part of the flock?
And he came in a righteous anger, you know, because it said of mind and manners. But he was rough and rigid, but he had manners, you know.
Yeah, like James Bond, right? He's austere, but he gets the job done. Especially Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery, James Bond. I'm not talking about these other players.
Yeah, the classic one.
Yeah, he'll just whoop your ass and tell it how it is, and then grab a lady and smooch her. Let me read this again. This is a good one. St. Luke 19:21. For I feared thee. If you don't fear Yahweh Shem Shai, you're in the wrong business. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest thou. Oh man, that's right there. 19:21 in St. Luke. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow.
So that's just like what you were saying. He's not a respecter of person. That's why he feared him, because he don't care. You know, he'll lay you down. He'll do whatever he wants.
Because
He'll reap what he wants. He'll sow what he wants.
He takes that he didn't reap, that he didn't sow. So here we have, that's slavery. That's slavery. So here we have a farmer and his whole family and his whole town working on a mile square of food for them. And here comes the Lord, takes that shit and leaves you 10% of it. You better not get pissed either.
Yeah, because this is that parable of how the one of his disciples he passed out money, but one of the disciples that they wrapped it up in a napkin.
Yeah, they put it in the ground.
Yeah, or they hid it.
Put the coin in the napkin and then hid it on the ground. Dug a hole and hid it in the ground. What kind of bullshit is that? That's exactly like not making a video on your channel.
That's what it represents. You know, he gave us the truth.
That's the point right here. This is the point. This is the point. And if you're only doing it every time you have to go to camp, and you're not showing your homework and you're not showing how much you grow, then you're not making any. You're gonna get called into the office, and you're gonna be like, why? And then your house guy's gonna be like, because you're fucking fired. He's gonna be like, step into my office. And you're gonna be like, why? Because you're fucking fired. Literally, he's gonna burn your ass up. Jeremiah 4:7. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without an inhabitant.
Yeah. So that's like a lion. He's crouching down, waiting for it to attack. And then when he attacks, he's gonna, everything's gonna be desolate. Because it said the lion has come up from his thicket, and I'm gonna get the definition for the thicket. is Strong's H5441. And it says it's called a cops, right? And when you go to the definition in the etymology,
It's just a good lesson, man. This is a good lesson because don't think you're gonna get forgiven. Don't be like, oh, I made one video today. I'm gonna make another one in a couple of days. You'll be all right. Don't, man. That's like that one, exactly like that one disciple that filled his napkin with that one coin instead of making business with it.
yeah, that's right. How could you already do a camp when you're not even doing videos?
They're already in the hole. That's like you're going to a karate school and you don't even have your black belt. Trying to teach people, you're not even your black belt.
Making videos should be easy if you're already doing camp.
That should be second nature.
You can't have camp without videos.
And you shouldn't be having a playlist with little kids shit on it. This channel's been up since 2012.
Yeah.
It's 8 years, man.
Been in the truth long enough.
Another guy too, he used to make those daily videos. Going out to camp is good, but guess what, man? You gotta make those daily videos too. You know, Yahweh makes a daily live stream, and then he goes home and makes a live stream at home, and then he does a camp at night, and then he does camp with the brothers. That's how you should be. But that doesn't mean that you should quit your job and be on unemployment and just do that, because the unemployment is going to run out. And then how are you going to support your man? Thou takest up which thou did not sow. How are you going to do that? Like he's going to come and pick the fruit off your tree and be like, this is bullshit. What did he say to that fig tree? He cursed that fig tree out. He went to get that fig. He got the fig. And he was like, this fig is rotten. And like, he was telling no, he didn't get a fig. He was suddenly and went to the fig tree. The fig tree didn't have any figs, so he cursed it out and it withered away and died right there. You gotta show your work.
So it said the lion is come up from his thicket.
Let me read that quick. Jeremiah 4:7. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his people to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant.
So right now, he's in his thicket, and a thicket is like a hiding place, because when you go to the definition, it was in the Greek for copse. It says a dense growth of bushes. So that's like a place where you can hide, or like a cave, in other words.
Except this time, the place that Yahweh is hiding is the heavens. Let me get this back here.
That's his thicket.
Yeah. This is St. Matthew 24:30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So what happens when you see a lion in the thicket? If you see a lion coming out of the thicket, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, you see those animals do that? You see those animals do that? They do that?
It's gonna surprise you.
You're gonna be like, oh shit. Shit your pants, you're gonna have, the scripture says, men's hearts fail them. You're gonna be having heart attacks. You better prepare yourself. And today it's kind of cold. Yesterday it was colder. You gotta keep working. It's time for the winter apparel. Let me read Jeremiah 4:7 again. Okay. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant. For this, gird you with sackcloth, lament and howl, for the fierce anger of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is not turned back from us.
So it said, because he's on his way, he said to gird you with sackcloth. That's what we're wearing. It's sackcloth. It's something that's you wear for mourning.
Let me back you up again. This is Jeremiah 6:26. O daughter of my people, gird thee with sackcloth, and wallow thyself in ashes. Make thee mourning as for an only son. Most bitter lamentation, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us. That's, you have to be mourning. And yeah, you know what? I'm a little excited because Biden's going to be the president. There's going to be some bunch of hell popping off.
Oh yeah, and Biden, don't forget in 2005, he spoke about the RFID microchip.
He's going to rule.
Mark of the beast.
Yes, sir.
You know? So this could be that time where he's bringing that what he said before, he's going to bring it back because he was talking to somebody on the other side, and he said, mark my words or something like that, you know, or...
And you guys are stupid. You don't even look up words. Democracy, Democrat means demos is people and Krat is ruler. Ruler is the people. Republican is for the people.
These dates think that stupid. Dates think that they're for you. You know?
Man, this guy, he got
Trump was more for the Jakes, right?
even though he wasn't, but he was fair. He was fair.
And there's a history of comments from Biden, you know, racial comments.
Yeah. He said he wouldn't allow his children to go to a public school because the public school would turn into a jungle.
And then just recently, you know, he was on the podium and he played a Mexican song. It was that one, Despacito. You know? Because he went up to the podium, he's like, I just want to say one thing. And he's like, hold on. He gets his phone and he plays the song Despacito. And he's like, these guys are so talented, you know, speaking about the Mexicans, you know. He's trying to show that he really cares.
Well, that song is very slow. Despacito means very, very slow. He's going to chip your ass very fucking slow. You guys are stupid, man. Stupid. And you know why he said he doesn't want their kids to go to school because it'll turn into a jungle? Because Judah is a lion's whelp, and the tribes are all related to beasts. All those tribes are a bunch of beasts.
And the lion will dominate in the jungle.
Hell yeah, and your white girl, your sweet baby, you're gonna walk in and then there's gonna be Jake on top of her. It's gonna be over. You know what? Let me get that in verse 6 and 26. Jeremiah 6 and 26. O daughter of my people, gird thee with sackcloth and wallow thyself in ashes. So when you wallow yourself in ashes, you're mourning. Because it's going to say right here, make thee mourning as for an only son. Man, because the only son gets the inheritance. Most bitter lamentation, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us. And the spoiler, there's two spoilers, but that's talking about Yahweh. He's going to come, and he's going to reap what he didn't sow.
Spoiler could be, you know, the Jacob's trouble that's coming too.
That's a Despacito right there. Yeah, because all those things are going to have to happen slow. They're going to happen slow. First is going to be the chipping, then Jacob's trouble, then World War III. And in between the chipping and Jacob's trouble, he's going to have martial law. He's going to have troops killing. There's going to be a lot of people being kill. And then there's going to be people fighting back. It's going to be sedition of government. And then they're going to set robots out. The robot police. And then it's really going to get heavy. And then World War III, boom. And it's going to be Despacito, like he said in that song.
Because Biden's about that new world order.
He sure is.
He wants more lockdowns. When Trump said that he wanted to open everything up.
What a fucking bunch of idiot people, man. I mean, like, come on, man. What was Trump doing that was so fucking bad? What was he doing that was so bad?
Did he give you that check?
He gave you that check. He was building the wall, but you know what? He was building that wall to protect his people. He was acting tough with China, and you're gonna see how weak Biden's gonna be with China. Wow, man.
Yeah, Biden looks like he can't even, think anymore. Like, he's losing his mind,
Yeah. Because it's just a joke now. It's just a joke. If you went up there and said, let me just say this, and play the song, Despacito, he's just fucking with you now. Because
that's the president? That's our president?
Damn, bro. What's he gonna do with the military? Well, he wants to defund the police too. That's when those robots are gonna come in.
See, because back in ancient world, they pick a champion from one side and a champion from another side, and they would fight. Imagine Biden fighting. Come on.
Like that video of those two old guys fighting. You ever seen that one? It's like they're throwing punches and they're just falling down because they're off balance. But the spoiler's gonna come upon you. Let me read Jeremiah 4:8. For this, gird you with sackcloth, lament and howl, for the fierce anger of Yahweh Shai is not turned back from us.
So right there it said, gird us with sackcloth and then lament and howl. Just like how, a dog or a wolf, how he howls, whenever he hears something or when he hears like a noise, he'll start howling.
And then people that hear that will be alerted. Just like when the lion comes out of the thicket, the animals are alerted. Man, you see those fucking animals book it, they see the lion or anything really that scares them, they run fast, they're damn. That's a representation of the other nations. When your house comes out of the thicket, you're gonna be like, oh shit. And then they're gonna scramble to the jets. By that time, there's gonna be fucking jets all over the sky. Jets, fake UFOs, all kinds of airplanes trying to shoot down